Hey everyone, and welcome back. Ready to dive into some seriously cool science news. We're taking a deep dive into a whole bunch of amazing discoveries straight from Noticias Asombrosas, and yeah, we'll be breaking it all down in English. Get ready for some whoa, that's wild moments.
I'm excited.
First up, let's talk coral reefs. We know they're in trouble because of climate change, right? But some pretty groundbreaking research is offering a new glimmer of hope.
It's incredible what they're doing these days. Scientists at the University of Newcastle are actually breeding coral, but selectively to make them more heat tolerant.
Wait, so they're making coral that can handle the heat from rising ocean temperatures. How does that even work?
It's kind of like breeding dogs. But instead of looks or personality, we're selecting for their ability to withstand crazy heat.
Yeah.
They're taking the toughest corals and basically helping them reproduce so their offsprings inherit those strong genes. The idea is to create coral that can actually survive and thrive in those warmer waters caused by climate change.
So it's like giving coral an evolutionary boost. That's wild, but I mean, is it really enough to save entire reefs?
Right. It's definitely a huge step in the right direction, but like with most big scientific discoveries, it's not a quick fix. There's still a lot more research to be done. Like we need to see how these selectively bred corals will actually do out in the wild.
Yeah, makes sense. It's not just about creating super coral in a lab. It's about making sure they actually survive and thrive in their natural environment. What are the next steps for these researchers then?
Well, figuring out how to scale this whole thing up. Right now, they're working in controlled environments. They need to figure out how to apply these breeding techniques on a much larger scale, like massive reef systems.
So we're talking about potentially giving coral reefs a real fighting chance. That's amazing. Okay, ready for a complete change of scenery. We're blasting off to space.
To infinity and beyond.
Exactly. We're heading to Jupiter's moon, Ganymede. Prepare for a cosmic shift in perspective because we're about to uncover an event of, well, astronomical proportion.
This is one of those stories that makes you realize just how small we are in the grand scheme of things.
Okay, now you've got to tell me more. What we're talking about here.
Imagine an asteroid impact so massive, so unbelievably huge, that it makes the one that wiped out the dinosaurs look like a little pebble.
Okay, now you've got my attention. How massive are we talking? Give me the details.
This asteroid is estimated to have been, get this, 20 times larger than the dinosaur-killing one. It slammed into Ganymede roughly 4 billion years ago, leaving behind a crater so colossal you could fit the entire country of Spain inside it.
Spain? The whole country? That's insane. It's mind-boggling to even try to picture something that big just crashing into a moon. But how do we even know this happened billions of years ago? Did someone leave a note?
Laughs. No note, but the evidence is literally written on Ganymede's face, or, well, surface. The size of the crater is a dead giveaway, but this impact also did something else pretty incredible. It likely shifted Ganymede's axis of rotation.
Wait, hold on. A single asteroid impact shifted the axis of an entire moon. That just doesn't seem possible.
Yeah. It's a testament to the immense forces we're dealing with here. Think about it like this. If you're standing there and someone throws a bowling ball at you, it's going to make you spin, right? Now, scale that up to the size of a moon and an asteroid, 20 times larger than the one that wiped out the dinosaurs.
Okay, yeah, that paints a pretty intense picture.
Yeah.
But why does a shifted axis even matter? What does it tell us about Ganymede?
It's like finding a hidden chapter in Ganymede's history book. This impact and that resulting shift in its spin gives us these incredible insights into how the moon has changed and evolved over billions of years.
It's like a cosmic fingerprint revealing secrets from billions of years ago.
Exactly. And it also helps us understand what the early solar system was like, back when planets and moons were still forming and getting, well, bombarded by these massive collisions. And you know what makes this even more interesting?
No, seriously, there's more.
Oh yeah, this is where it gets really wild. See, Ganymede has these vast oceans under its surface, like way bigger than all the oceans on Earth combined.
Yeah, hold on. Oceans under the surface. What do oceans have to do with a giant asteroid impact billions of years ago?
Well, when we talk about life, like the ingredients for life as we know it, water is always at the top of the list, right?
Right, makes sense.
This impact, even though it sounds like total destruction, might have actually helped create the conditions for life to emerge on Ganymede. Maybe it even brought the building blocks of life from somewhere else in the solar system. Who knows?
You're saying this asteroid, the one that left a crater the size of Spain, could be connected to the possibility of life on Ganymede. Now that's a twist. Okay, so from supercoral to ancient asteroids, What else does Noticias Asombrosas have for us?
Well, from the vastness of space, let's zoom in on something much smaller, viruses.
Viruses. Oh boy, after the last few years, I feel like we know enough about those.
Right. But this is different. This is about understanding just how many different kinds of viruses are out there and how they've changed over time. This article talks about how scientists are using AI to revolutionize the study of viruses, and leading the way is this system called LeucoPro.
AI that hunts viruses. Sounds like something out of a movie. A slightly terrifying movie. How does it even work?
It's kind of like, in those old monster movies where you see the shadow of the monster before you see the monster itself.
Yeah, okay, I get it.
LeucoPro is kind of like that. But for viruses, it doesn't just look at genetic material and tell you what kind of virus it is.
Yeah.
It actually predicts what the virus's structure would look like, even if its genetic sequence is incomplete or we don't even fully understand it yet.
So it's like LeucoPro can see the shadow of the virus even before we know the virus is there. That's incredible. What has it found so far?
Get this. LeucoPro has already identified over 160 new RNA viruses. Plus, it's grouped viruses into 180 supergroups, showing us how they're related in ways we never even knew. It's like discovering a whole new branch of the evolutionary tree, but for viruses.
160 new viruses.
Yeah.
Wow. And here I thought we were just starting to get a handle on the ones we already knew.
It's not about being scared, though. It's about being informed. A lot of these viruses might be totally harmless, or even helpful. But for the ones that are a threat, knowing more about them is the first step to developing vaccines and treatments, especially for RNA viruses like the flu and coronaviruses, which can be tricky.
So it's like having a more detailed map of the viral landscape, right? We can see the potential threats more clearly and be better prepared.
Exactly. And what's even cooler? This discovery was a team effort, with scientists from China and Australia working together. It really shows how global challenges need global solutions.
It's amazing what we can learn when we work together. Speaking of teamwork, ready for another change of pace?
Always hit me.
This deep dive is full of them. From the microscopic world, we're shifting gears to something a bit more, well, tangible. Let's head over to the rainforests of Madagascar, where there's been a remarkable discovery.
Oh, I love Madagascar. What did they find?
Well, according to Noticias Asombrosas, a brand new species of leaf chameleon has been discovered. And get this, it's incredibly tiny. I mean, really, really small.
A miniature chameleon. Okay, now you have to tell me more. How small are we talking?
This little guy, they're calling it Brachysia nana, is just a tiny bit bigger than the current record holder for the world's smallest reptile, the Brachysia micra. Picture this. A chameleon so small, it could comfortably sit on your fingernail.
Wow, that's tiny. How do you even spot something that small in a rainforest?
That's the amazing part. It wasn't scientists who found it, it was tourists.
You're kidding? Tourists found a new species. Tell me everything.
So these tourists were just out there snapping pics of amazing wildlife, and boom, they accidentally stumble upon a new species. That's incredible.
I know, right? It's like something out of a movie. They were taking pictures and just happened to capture this tiny chameleon that didn't look like the others. They shared their photos online, and luckily, some researchers saw them and realized, hey, this is something special.
Citizen science at its finest. You never know what hidden wonders are lurking in those vacation photos. But this discovery also makes you think about the bigger picture, right? Especially where this tiny chameleon was found.
Absolutely. Noticias Asombrosas pointed out that Brachysia nana was found in a small, privately protected reserve in a critically endangered rainforest. It's a powerful reminder of how important conservation is.
It's true. Every species, even the tiny ones we barely notice, plays a role in keeping the whole ecosystem in balance.
And when we lose that biodiversity, those connections start to disappear, and it can have a ripple effect on the whole planet.
It's like a giant web, and every species is a strand. Lose too many strands, and the whole thing could collapse.
Exactly. Protecting those pockets of biodiversity is crucial, not just for the individual species, but for the whole planet.
Well said. It seems like every discovery we've talked about today, whether it's supercoral, ancient asteroids, or miniature chameleons, it all comes back to the interconnectedness of life on Earth.
Totally. We're all part of this incredible web of life. But hey, on a later note, Noticias Asombrosas also had some fun cosmic headlines I thought you'd get a kick out of. Ready for one last trip into space?
Always. Lay it on me.
Okay, get ready to mark your calendar, because we've got a front row seat to a celestial fireworks show. The star T Corona Borealis is expected to go nova in the next 80 years or so.
Hold up. A star. Exploding. Should I be worried?
No need to panic. It's not a kaboom, everything's gone kind of explosion. Think of it more like a sudden burst of brightness. This star, T Corona Borealis, is a white dwarf that's been pulling material from a nearby star. Eventually, enough material builds up, and boom, it ignites in this spectacular outburst of energy.
Less of a Michael Bay explosion, more like a cosmic light show.
Exactly. And the best part is we should be able to see it from Earth, even during the day. Astronomers are pretty excited about this one.
Count me in. That's going straight in my calendar. What else is happening in our cosmic neighborhood?
Well, how about news of a potentially habitable planet? Scientists picked up some radio signals coming from the exoplanet YZ City B.
Radio signals, huh? Like alien civilizations trying to phone a friend.
Probably not aliens, but still super cool. These signals are probably caused by interactions between the planet's magnetic field and its star. But here's why it matters. A magnetic field suggests an atmosphere, which is a big deal when we talk about a planet's potential to support life.
So we're talking about a planet that could, maybe, possibly have life on it.
It's still a long shot, but it's definitely an exciting thought. And the more we learn about planets like this one, the closer we get to answering one of the biggest questions out there. Are we alone in the universe?
I'm getting chills. Okay, a star about to light up the sky, a potentially habitable planet sending out signals. What else could there possibly be?
One last surprise, then this one hits a little closer to home. You familiar with the Titanic?
Of course, everyone knows the Titanic. What about it?
It seems even the mightiest ships can't fight nature forever. Recent underwater pictures show that the front of the ship, the bow, is starting to collapse. After all this time on the ocean floor, it's finally starting to break down.
That's kind of sad, but also pretty amazing.
It is. But here's the thing. As the wreck breaks down, it's opening up new areas for exploration, places we couldn't get to before. Who knows what secrets of the Titanic we might uncover in the years to come.
It's amazing to think that even after all these years, the Titanic is still revealing its secrets. Wow, this deep dive has been a wild ride. From the bottom of our oceans to the far reaches of space, we've covered so much ground.
We really have. And you know what ties it all together? Our endless curiosity and thirst for knowledge. It's what drives us to explore, to ask questions, to uncover the mysteries of the universe.
And that's what makes this so exciting. We're living in a time of incredible discoveries where new knowledge is constantly changing our understanding of the world around us. And the best part is, this is just the beginning. So until our next deep dive, keep those questions coming, stay curious, and never stop exploring.